Hey friend, do you want to offer meaningful learning solutions that create behavior change, fit in the flow of work, and yield real results for your nonprofit? If yes, this is the podcast for you. Join me as I explore instructional design and leadership development best practices, as well as change management, belonging, and influence. If we haven't met yet, I'm Heather, and I've been in your shoes. I'm a learning and development consultant and founder of Skill Masters Market. Before starting my business, I led learning and leadership development initiatives for a large national nonprofit. I know what it's like to need to develop your staff quickly and effectively, and to build the relationships and cut through the organizational layers to be successful. And I'm bringing all of that to you in this podcast. So block your calendar, turn off your Teams or Slack chat, and let's dive in. It's learning for good.
I need a training. It should be a 30-minute e-learning. Just make it pretty. I'll tell you everything the trainer needs to say, and you just write it down. Why don't you just come watch me deliver this training and document what I do? I don't like that color. Pick a different one. Do these statements sound familiar? Well, I hope that they don't. I realize they probably do. And these are things that have all been said to me by subject matter experts in my 20-ish year career in L&D. Working with subject matter experts can be a great experience. They are passionate about their work. They often believe in the power of training, and they can be excited to contribute to the project. But working with subject matter experts can also be challenging. They don't always understand learning and development. And they may have multiple competing priorities that takes them away from your project or your deliverables. And sometimes they think they can do it on their own, that they don't really need you. I'm here to tell you that you can have a great relationship with your subject matter expert, and you can create a great working experience. In fact, you can turn your subject matter expert into your biggest asset. Ready to find out how? Let's dive in. It's learning for good. I've worked with a lot of subject matter experts in my career, and I consider myself pretty easygoing and easy to get along with, easy to work with. But I've also had my fair share of challenging subject matter expert experiences as well, which is why I want to share my approach to working with subject matter experts. It's based on everything I've learned over the past 20 or so years working in L&D. Lots of subject matter expert interactions, lots of projects, sometimes 10 a year when working internally, lots of different organizations, lots of different content areas, lots of different project goals, and as you can imagine, lots of different final products. But all of these projects required me to navigate relationships with subject matter experts and figure out how to make the project successful. And while sometimes this comes more naturally than others, here's what I learned. It comes down to three things: connection, clarity, and impact. What do I mean by connection? Build relationships with your subject matter experts. Real relationships. I want relationships that are built on respect and trust. I always want to acknowledge what the subject matter expert is contributing to the project. They have years of experience. They know this content inside and out, and they are often either connected to or part of the intended audience for the training. They bring a lot to the table professionally. And so do I. I've built hundreds of learning experiences for diverse audiences. I stay current on industry trends and best practices. I've put in the reps from an L&D perspective. So it's built on mutual respect. But yet, our professional selves, that's only one part of who we are. So I also want to know my subject matter expert on a more personal level. So you'll often hear me sharing small personal stories in meetings. Like when I moved my office and you can now see a Barbie dollhouse in my background, I pointed it out and we had a good laugh. Or when I asked my middle child what she thought my job was, and she said that I save things under the water, I shared her response with my subject matter experts and told them that a mermaid was my new alter ego. Or when my mom passed away unexpectedly and I shared I'd be out of the office for a bit. Real life things. Good things, hard things. Little glimpses into real life. And I think this is so important to connection. So you can often find me asking my subject matter experts about their families or their hobbies or their weekend plans. Little glimpses into real life. Build that connection. Now, the second thing that I found is important is clarity. Be clear on roles and responsibilities. Set expectations for the project, for their role, and for yours. I always say that the subject matter expert job is to look out for the content, and my job is to look out for the learner. The subject matter expert is an expert in the content, and I am an expert in how adults learn. And together we can create something really amazing, but it has to be clear. A project kickoff is a great way to set these expectations. What is your role as the L&D person? What is their role as a subject matter expert? How will you work together? How will you work independently? When and how often will you meet? This is all part of being clear on roles and responsibilities. And once you're clear on that, it's important to maintain clarity throughout the project. We want to be good project managers. So set clear project milestones and communicate those milestones and keep communicating them. It should be a continuous process, never a surprise. Align your deliverables with meetings so you can discuss and make decisions together. Making these decisions, any big decision in the project together and communicating consistently, that's really what helps ensure clarity throughout the project. So make sure you're establishing and maintaining clarity. Now, the final piece of the puzzle is impact. What does success look like for this project? Focus on that. You're working together to create impact. That's exciting. That's something you want to be a part of. But it's easy to lose sight of that when you're deep into the development process. But it's so important. Define what success looks like. Narrow in on the behaviors it takes to get there and create clear objectives related to that and stick to your scope. As discrepancies or disagreements come up around the content, you can go back to those objectives, that impact you're trying to create, and have a discussion about the path forward. It keeps those conversations so much more manageable and so much more agreeable because you're working toward impact. Connection, clarity, and impact. Is this resonating with you, friend? I don't think any of us get this right 100% of the time, but that is always my goal. I can't imagine working on a project without a subject matter expert. We need them to be part of the process. I want them to be a part of the process. So let's make sure we're working well together. It's for the good of the training, it's for the good of the organization, and it's for the good of the people we serve. I'll see you next time on Learning for Good.
Hey friend, was this episode helpful for you? Did you like what you heard? Do you want more content like this? Here are 3 things you can do. Hit subscribe, leave a review on Apple Podcasts or your podcast app of choice, share this episode with a colleague. This means so much to me personally. I read every review, but it also helps me learn what content you like most so I can create more of what you want. All right, turn that Teams or Slack chat back on when you're ready, and I'll see you next time on Learning for Good.